seeing Lord Shen affected you personally? Has seeing him affected me personally? I've probably said this many times before, or probably a few times before. Like, when I first initially saw Lord Shen, I just thought he was just gonna be, like, a cool, badass villain that I'm undoubtedly gonna love. And then, after seeing him do, like, when he first appeared in the movie, like, when he was like, "Such the farthest villages, find more metal, China will be mine." That part, like, when I saw that part, I was like, oh, hot damn. But it was nothing like that. I'm like, oh my god. Like, it was mostly like, oh my god, this movie's gonna be awesome. Mainly because when I first heard Gary Oldman, I'm like, oh my god, this movie's gonna be awesome. But then when he returns to Gangmin City and immediately does all this crazy and badass shit, first fucking up the guards like a boss, that made me say, oh my god, this guy's a boss. Well, think and say that when I was watching, like, oh my god, this guy's a boss. And then when he's like, "Good afternoon, gentlemen," I'm like, okay, this guy's sexy, enough said. That's how seeing him affected me personally. I think he's not only badass, but I also think he's sexy. I mean, he's just oddly appealing, he's oddly attractive, and I don't really give a shit about what people think. And some of my like a couple of my friends are like, "He's a bloody peacock." I'm like, yeah, sure. You know what? I honestly don't give a single fuck. Okay, let's go with that. And later, as we got to see more of his character, like especially in the fireworks factory when he had his last conversation with the soothsayer, he brought himself out of his shell a little bit, and he revealed... Sorry, there are people... The neighbors are being stupid. Neighbors! Sorry. He came out of his shell a little bit, and he revealed his... He revealed that he felt wronged, that he felt underestimated, that he felt that his parents didn't love him, that he just wants to be loved, he wants to be appreciated for who he is and what he's done, but the world doesn't see that, and he's doing what he thinks is morally right, but instead he's just digging his own grave. And I understood that, and I'm like, wow, this guy really has problems. Like, that's not a bad way. I'm like, wow, this guy is really he's sympathetic. Like, I felt sympathy for him. And then when he showed sympathy and mercy towards the soothsayer, I was like, holy shit. I mean, he didn't just go like all out banish her like some angry dick. He just said, set her free. Dude, that's fucking merciful. That just proves that Shen has a heart. Shen has a heart. He does. Despite how p-dickish he can be. Despite how sadistic and evil and just merciless he can be. He has a heart. He's sympathetic. And when I saw that, not only his sadness, like the sadness that he felt, feeling forlorn and unloved and underestimated and not appreciated by anyone, especially his parents, he also shows sympathy and shows that he has a heart and that he's sympathetic. And when I saw that, I'm like, this guy is very well developed and complex. DreamWorks must have worked hard on creating this guy's character. And I was so impressed, and I was just in awe, and I'm still in awe. I was just in awe. I'm like, wow, they gave this guy a heart and soul. DreamWorks and Gary Oldman, they gave this guy a heart and soul, and and people can relate to that. He seems more human. He seems more human, because people can relate to this shit. Like, people can feel unloved. They can be sympathetic. I mean, a lot of people are sympathetic out there, but people can relate to what Shen is going through. And seeing him so forlorn and coming out of his shell like that just pulled my heartstrings, and it just pulled me in. Just to know that he has depth, it was just so compelling, and I couldn't help but love it. I'm like, this guy has got to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, characters that DreamWorks has ever come up with. For the past, God knows how long, for the years that they've been making all these movies, Shen has gotten to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, characters that they have ever created. Without a fucking doubt. Seeing Shen has affected me personally. He's very human. He has feelings. People can relate to them. People can feel sympathy for him, even though there are people out there who don't like him and just hate the dude for what he did. Yeah, he's a dick for it. Big fucking whoop. But I love him unconditionally. I love him despite the things he's done. And he's also shown that he could be redeemed. But he was just so lost in himself. He was just so determined to do what he thought was right that, well, he he dug his own grave and made himself push daisies. And yeah, I honestly have nothing else to say except that seeing Lord Shen and all this shit, it really affected me personally, and I feel an emotional connection with Shen. I connected with him a little bit, I'm sure many others out there have connected with him, just to see this guy. Not only, at first he's depicted just to be so cruel and evil and just malicious and calculating, sadistic, and also a megalomaniac and a pedic, a major pedic. But then you see this other side of him, and you're like, oh, son of a crap. You just can't help it. Yes, son of a crap is my own little personal saying. Besides, son of a crap, the cookies canon, representation, Shenalicious. Yeah, the list can go on. So yeah, I'm not sure people were I'm not sure if a lot of other people out there were oh, son of a crap, this guy is, oh no. I was a lot oh, son of a crap. Ay mierda. For those who do not know Spanish, ay mierda means oh crap. Good God, when he revealed this other side of him, I just could not help but pity him and just become more connected with him. In the beginning I connected with his badass and sexy side. I'm oh my God, this guy's so awesome. It's just so damn attractive. But then this happens, I'm oh my God, this guy deserves to be loved. This guy just needs love. He just needs a big consoling hug. Even though one might get killed if someone actually tried doing that. But you know what? I think it'd be worth the risk. That's all I can say, to be honest with you. I really connected with Shen. I feel absolute sympathy for him. I respect him. I love him. I love him for who he is, regardless of what he's done. Yeah, I'll admit, he's a bastard for killing pandas. He's a bastard for doing that. And sometimes I'm Shen, you're full of bullshit. But I love his bullshit. There's these sides of me that are Shen, you're full of bullshit, but I love his bullshit. Oh my God, it's so awesome, because it's just so compelling. I love his bullshit because it's so compelling, and it's really in depth, and it's just, well, beautiful. So yeah, I've got nothing else to say, Leo, so there's that for you. Woo!